So in 2023, what makes a YouTube channel successful? And don't worry, this won't just be a list of obvious things like channels that have a lot of subscribers or channels that make a ton of money from ad revenue. Instead, today I want to review the 6 key ingredients that I think are essential to the success of a YouTube channel in 2023. If you're new here, I'm a fashion and beauty micro-influencer based in New York City, and I use this channel to help you create great content, grow your digital brand, and earn sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please consider subscribing. I have been on YouTube now for over 5 years, but 2022 was definitely my biggest year of growth on the platform to date. I more than doubled both my subscribers and ad revenue, and YouTube kind of went from being another social media platform that I upload content to really transforming into the core of my creator business. If you want to learn more about how to make this year your most profitable year as a content creator yet, I'm going to be hosting a free webinar in the coming weeks that I think you'll love, so be sure to sign up from the link down below in the description box. And spoiler alert, I think one of the keys to being a successful content creator who's running a profitable creator business in 2023 is being on YouTube. So with that, let's dive into 6 things that I think actually make for successful YouTube channels. The first key component is the ability to instantly grab your audience's attention. In all of my videos, I like to keep the intro short and sweet, and I also like to start my videos out with a hook. So in the case of this YouTube video, I asked you a question right at the beginning, and I also wanted to dispel any fears of, oh God, is this going to be another one of those videos where they list all of the obvious things? Because I've sat through videos like that before, and I don't want to waste your time. So having that hook from the get-go is really important, as well as getting straight into the meat of the content. It also doesn't hurt to have some element of visual interest, whether that is a text graphic popping up on the screen or zooming in to highlight a point. Because of social media, attention spans are shorter than ever, and people are going to be drawn to the creators who get right into it, who are really personable, and who make you want to watch their content. And speaking of wanting to watch someone's content, that leads us into the next thing I want to be sure I touch on here, which is having substantial watch time. Watch time is one of the most important metrics on YouTube because it is a long-form content platform. And if this is your first time hearing the phrase watch time, essentially that means how long someone is really sticking with your video. In your YouTube analytics, you can view the number of watch time hours on one particular video or your channel in general, and you can change the time duration to see watch time in a week, month, year, or even lifetime. Having substantial watch time is one of the best things you can do for your YouTube channel. Some of my quick tips and best practices for increasing the watch time on your YouTube channel are by using key phrases that will keep people interested and keep people wanting to watch for longer. I think being very clear and upfront about what you're going to be discussing in a video helps someone who's just clicked on confirm that they're in the right place, because the first 30 seconds of someone watching your video on YouTube are really important, and YouTube actually measures your retention and success based on how many people make it to that first 30-second mark. So to very clearly outline what you're going to be talking about in your video will help the person who's clicked on say, yes, okay, this is what I want, and I'm in the right place to get my answers. I also will sometimes use phrases in my videos like, if you watch until the end, I'll be sure to address the biggest myth about the TikTok algorithm, or I'll say something in the beginning and let people know that I'm going to dive deeper on that particular topic a little later on in the video after I've had the chance to share some background. So those, audible cues of me saying, watch till the end or stick around for this, that gives people the idea that I'm going to get to what they're talking about later in the video, but sometimes I do need to give a bit of a preamble or a little bit of context before I talk about a more advanced theory. Another best practice for increasing watch time is to make it easy for people to continue watching your content. So take advantage of things like cards on YouTube videos where you might see a little eye bar appear above if I mention a related video or want to direct you to a particular link. And this is a great way to send people to more of your content. Another great way to do this is by making playlists, because sometimes people will want to watch a lot of content on a particular topic. So if you have a lot of related videos and related content, consider making a playlist for them and also displaying those playlists on your channel homepage. One way that I take advantage of playlists are if someone messages me on Instagram and says, hey, I've really been wanting to start a blog, like I watched this one video of yours, but I'm wondering if you have any other tips. Sending them my blogging tips playlist is a quick and easy way to give give them a ton of bingeable content and actionable resources without me needing to sit down and actually type out all of my blogging advice, because I might forget something, I could leave things out, and this way it's delivered to them in the clearest and most streamlined format of content I create, which is usually my YouTube videos. I also think at the end of your YouTube videos that giving a verbal up next recommendation, like knowing which video you want to send people to next at the time you sit down to film the current video that you're on, is really helpful, because then when you say verbally to someone, here is exactly where I want you to go next, versus just saying there is an up next recommendation on the screen, I think that verbal cue really enhances people saying, oh yes, that video that she's talking to me about right now. It's just another way, in addition to a visual cue, to add in that audio cue and increase the likelihood that maybe someone will want to continue watching your content. And there is now more than one way to get people to continue watching all of your content. And that is because up until a few years ago, YouTube was just a platform for long form videos, but they recently introduced YouTube Shorts. And that's why I think the next thing that is a key ingredient to success on YouTube in 2023 is to produce both long form and short form content. One of the reasons I love YouTube as a creator is because the analytics on the back end of YouTube Studio are just so much more sophisticated and easy to navigate compared to other platforms. And in your YouTube Studio, you can actually click into any video to see how people are finding your content. And there are actually quite a lot of surface areas on YouTube where people can find your content. I'm not sure if people really realize that, but a few of the different ways that someone could find your content on YouTube are through YouTube search, by simply typing things into the search bar. Your content could come up as recommended on the home screen of your YouTube channel. So for me, I've noticed that all of the vloggers and content creators who I like following get put on my home screen whenever they have a new video out, and that way I know there's a new video, I can see it and find it easily, and I'm more likely to follow through and watch it. Another place where your content can appear on YouTube is in a recommended or suggested video, and those usually appear to the side of whatever video you're watching. So if you look right now to the right side of your screen, if you're on desktop, or maybe underneath if you're on mobile, you'll probably see other suggested videos that are similar to this video topic. You can also get discovered on YouTube externally. Sometimes I see my YouTube videos show up on Google search if I am just searching a term to see what else is populating there. Sometimes it'll be one of my YouTube videos, which is always fun to see. And the newest addition to discoverability on YouTube, and the newest surface area where you have the potential to attract new viewers and subscribers, is on the Shorts feed. There are so many people watching and consuming YouTube Shorts right now, so having your content go out into the Shorts feed with the potential for millions of people to see it is a really exciting concept. So definitely be sure to take advantage of YouTube Shorts, and you can even start by repurposing short form content of yours from other social media platforms, as long as you make sure that there's no copyrighted music and that all watermarks are removed. And I do think that in order to improve your discoverability and get seen on as many different surfaces on YouTube as possible, giving YouTube the information that it needs to classify your videos and make sure that they are suggesting it to relevant viewers is really key. And the best way to do that, I think anyone who's watched my channel for a while knows what I'm going to say, is through SEO, or search engine optimization. If you'd like to learn more about optimizing your YouTube videos for search so that you can give YouTube as much information as possible so it can scan your content and recommend it to the right people and rank it correctly in the search algorithm, I do have a whole video where I break down that process here on my YouTube channel, so I'll leave a link to it in the iCard, like we talked about, and down below in the description box, so you can watch that video after this one if you're interested in learning more. I feel like I'm the opposite of a magician never reveals their secrets, because this whole YouTube channel is essentially me revealing my secrets. The next thing that I think is key to a successful YouTube channel in 2023 is consistency. And this one may seem a little obvious, like having a consistent posting schedule and making sure that you are showing up with some frequency so that your audience knows when to expect content from you, and that if they're thinking of you and they go to your channel, there's hopefully something new for them to look at. But I feel like we talk about this a lot in terms of the benefit of consistency for the audience, and I want to talk about the benefit of consistency for the creator. I think it's more obvious that consistency is helpful for your audience so that they know when you're going to post post content. And you might even be able to argue that consistency is relevant for YouTube's algorithm so that it sees that you are uploading with some frequency and knows that you are paying attention and putting new content out on the platform. But when you think about consistency from your workflow and how you run the back end of your creator business, I think being consistent, frankly, just makes that so much easier. This can be really helpful to give you a system and a process and help you plan your weeks depending on how often you're uploading to YouTube. If you're really serious about growing on YouTube, I would suggest definitely uploading one long form video every week, and ideally at least 1 or 2 shorts if that still feels like a lot for you. Honestly, just anything you can put up I think is great, because there are still more people viewing YouTube shorts right now than there are people creating YouTube shorts, and I really do think it's a great chance to stand out and hopefully grow your subscriber base at an accelerated pace. But even as you're planning your weeks as a creator, and I do this full time, but even especially if you are a part-time content creator and you only have a certain number of hours in a week to spend creating content because you are working a full-time job, you're in school, you have family obligations, whatever the case is, having a consistent upload schedule will make planning your week so much easier, because if you know that you upload once a week on Tuesday mornings, that's when I upload if you were wondering, once you know that, you can work backwards and say, okay, I need this much time to prep my video, this much time to actually film it, edit it, upload it, and so on. And one of the huge benefits of YouTube compared to other social media platforms is their scheduling is really reliable, intuitive, and it's just like a well-oiled machine that works. I have definitely run into issues with other scheduling in app, like on Pinterest. Some of my pins that I scheduled didn't end up going out. Still waiting for real scheduling over on Instagram. So take advantage of the fact that you can schedule content on YouTube, and you can even batch produce content if you know you're going to have a day off coming up or just a little bit of extra time than you normally would. So consistency, yes, I think looks good to the algorithm and looks good to the audience, but being consistent and just having a routine and a workflow as a creator will make you better overall and will, maintain that level of professionalism, knowing you have this work schedule for your YouTube channel, and it'll allow you to commit to goals like publishing on YouTube once a week. I personally always batch film content, so this is the second YouTube video I'm filming today, and that's just because I know my workflow. I know the time it takes to set up my lights, get mic'd up, and prepare to film these videos, and I like to take advantage of when I'm energetic and in a good mood and ready to share this content with you guys. The next thing that I think will make for a successful YouTube channel this year is for creators to incorporate YouTube more holistically into their marketing funnel. As you may remember, I mentioned earlier in this video that 2022 was really the year when YouTube went from being just a social media platform for me to really a key component of my business. And that's because I have been able to make YouTube almost like the hub for everything that I do, and I have been able to take advantage of what YouTube has given me with a platform to do so many more things than just sit and film videos. Because of my YouTube channel, it is easier for me to earn passive income because I'm part of YouTube's partner program. It is easier for me to earn commission for affiliate programs that I'm a part of, especially for softwares that I love and talk about and recommend to you on this channel that are always linked down below in the description box. YouTube has allowed me to connect with so many more community members. I get a lot of people who come over to my Instagram saying, hey, I found you on YouTube and just wanted to say thank you, or just wanted to ask a follow-up question. And that is always highly, highly encouraged to come say hi on Instagram, because we don't really have a direct messaging here on YouTube. And it just helps me build credibility. I recently got verified on Instagram, and one of the links that I submitted was my YouTube channel, which now has over 12,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. And I publish, weekly content here. It really helps elevate me as an industry expert and and show additional validity for what I do. And on top of all of that, I've also gotten consulting clients from YouTube, which consulting isn't really a service that I publicize very often, but I do it, especially when someone comes to me and says, I've been binging your YouTube videos, like your advice is so great, and I would love to get your specific advice for my creator business or for my website, whatever the case is. And so YouTube at its core has really also helped me broaden and streamline my process of making money as a creator, because even though, yes, I can make money on YouTube directly, it also helps me indirectly in so many ways, whether it is filling seats in a webinar or adding new people to my Patreon membership, or again, even getting another follower over on a different platform. It really all builds and snowballs, and that's because YouTube is a searchable platform that allows me to create this evergreen content that people find time and time again, even after months of me publishing it. This video is actually just a love letter to YouTube. But my point is, I've really taken advantage of YouTube and used it to help accelerate a lot of different things in my creator business. And I think that if you want to make more money in 2023, that doing the same for your YouTube channel will be a big difference maker. And the next key ingredient for having a successful YouTube channel this year, and I think this is a big one, is your personality. YouTube is a traditionally long form content platform, and one of my favorite things about YouTube is it really makes me feel like I know the people who I'm watching. And I have even been known to do things like tell my fiance Andrew, oh, my friend just went to that restaurant last week, it was great, when by my friend I mean a YouTuber who I follow, who I've actually never met before, but I spend so much time with that I think that we're friends. And I just love that YouTube allows you to build such a deep connection with someone, because of course it's audio visual, so you get those two different components of feeling like you're in the same room with someone, even if you're maybe not. And I hope that when you guys watch my videos, you feel like we are at some cool like coffee house, and I'm kind of just like riffing off about what I think on different topics related to content creation, entrepreneurship, small business, and all of these things, because it's really just something that I'm so passionate about. And when I talk to my fellow content creator friends, these are literally the conversations that we have. But being able to share them not just one-to-one, but one-to-many through YouTube, and again, really give people a sense of my personality, like silly things even when, we call Adam Mosseri from Instagram Dark Lord Adam, because like that's just the vibe, And I think that with the rise of TikTok and short form content, that whenever someone says like have a personality, people assume that that means jump all around the screen, like try to prank people, scare people, dance, sing, do whatever you need to do to get attention. And I totally don't think that that needs to be the case. I think a lot of people with laid back personalities also do really well on YouTube. And I think that it really just comes down to relatability and authenticity. So don't worry about feeling like you need to scream every word that comes out of your mouth or do something crazy to get the internet's attention. I think even Emily Mariko, who is a TikTok content creator, was doing a lot of those ASMR type food videos, barely said a word. I actually don't know if I've ever heard her speak, even though I'm pretty sure she does have a YouTube channel, but I still get a lot of personality from those videos that she creates. So make sure to be your true self and feel like your personality is good enough, because it is, and all you need to do is show it to people. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think makes a successful YouTube channel these days, and feel free to join the conversation and leave a comment down below to let me know who some of your favorite YouTubers are, or what you think makes a successful YouTube channel. Don't forget to sign up for my free webinar next month, all about how to build a profitable creator business. You won't want to miss it, so grab your seat at the link down below in the description box. And if you want to hear even more reasons why YouTube is the platform you need to prioritize in 2023, check out the up next recommendation on the screen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.